Hey everyone, welcome back to the Proof Deep YouTube channel. And today what we're going to be looking at is a upgrade for the studio. What we're going to be doing is a upgrade on the base of the studio. So if you are starting up your studio or you need some advice on what is the right setup, because we all know, yes, the cameras, the lighting, the monitors, everything, that's all great and what you need for filming and backdrops and lighting, but how are you going to power all those things safely to ensure you're doing it the right way? So an issue that I was running into was I was getting a lot of odd sounds within my audio, and I also was kind of concerned with my setup that I had. And as I mentioned, you guys, we're all learning together on the way. I've never done any of this before, so this is all new to me, but I am a big researcher, so that's what I enjoy doing most. I love doing deep research and getting all the information, and if I can do that for you guys and save you some of the trouble and go through it all and find the best solution for you, well, there you go. I wanted to go ahead and upgrade the studio, so I figured, yes, the camera, the lighting, the backdrop, all of that is important, audio, but what's most important is your final foundation. So the most important part is going to be the foundation of how you power everything. So I wanted to make sure that I had that secure and we were safe. I want to avoid any kind of fires, any kind of issues with my audio, or any kind of damage to the lights, and most importantly, damage to your equipment, because if there is a power surge, a spike, an outage, or you aren't getting fed clean energy, then you're going to cause issues, and you're going to have issues in your audio, you're going to have issues with lighting, and you're going to be damaging your equipment. So this isn't by any means a Universal Studios top level performance setup, but this does cover the bases, and we're going to get into that today, and I'll make sure I link everything down below for you guys. Let's get started and let's upgrade the studio. First thing we're going to get started with is the cable. So the biggest part is how thick that wire is, how reliable it can be. So this one's 120 volts, a 50-foot cable. So the reason I bring up this extension cable, and it's super important to me, is because I wanted to make sure that some of you who are having the same issue I am need a good outlet and it isn't close by, and you want to run good power through it, and you want to make sure that power is secure and stable, then you want to make sure you have the right size cable and the cable that can handle that capacity to power everything. The outlet isn't as close as I'd like it to be, so that's where you get a good quality extension cable. And since you don't want to be piggybacking stuff off of each other, if you guys look at that video, I did have things piggybacked. Like I mentioned, we're learning, you guys, and that is a huge no-no. What you're going to want to do is, if you do need multiple outlets, we'll get that solid extension cable. And look at the gauge on this one. This one's really solid. Yeah, I got a triple port, so everything is actually going directly into that one solid extension cable. And it does have a 1,875 watt max capacity. And like I mentioned, it's rated for outdoors, so this cable is going to be sturdy and it's going to be reliable, and it should be able to last you guys a very long time and be able to put up with that load. So make sure you get a solid cable for that. And this is the finish here, so you guys check that out right there. And let me get you the brand. It looks like this is a Terra Bloom. They do have these on Amazon. Let me get you guys some of those specs there. Let's check out the spec on the cable and the gauge, and you can see what you need exactly. Ideally, if you could, go directly to the outlet. Make sure the outlet's good quality. If not, you can upgrade everything in there, but make sure you have a good solid outlet. If you don't, and you don't have an outlet nearby, that is where you're going to run the extension cable to your next source. The next source that we're going to get into is actually going to be this bad boy right here. And this is awesome, because before, these were really hard to get and super expensive, but we do have good options now. Check that out, you guys. This is the Cyber Power. Check this out, you guys. This is the Cyber Power, and this one is going to be 1000 VA and 600 watts. So this is going to be able to handle most of your stuff. Like I had mentioned, you guys, I don't have the most elaborate, crazy setup of a studio, so this is going to be plenty for what I need. On what a UPS is, that middle ground, so it's going to help you with surge protection or dramatically shutting off your equipment. So if there is a power outage or something happens, or you are live streaming, you can go ahead and let this be that backup you need. So if you are in the middle of a live stream, power goes completely out, you still have your setup running, well, you can go ahead and let your audience or people know that, hey, my power's out, We're gonna go ahead and close it down. This is gonna be giving you about 10 to 5 minutes depending on the load. You guys can do some research on that load capacity you have for your setup. So check all of that before and what it can handle. Or if there is a power outage, you don't ever want to dramatically just shut off your equipment. You don't ever want to just hit a switch and power everything down unless you have a protective barrier there, and that is what the UPS does, because that's how you would damage your equipment. Or if there is lightning, any power surges, any exposure to water or anything, this is going to be that middle ground. So you have the outlet, extension cable, the UPS, and everything behind it is going to be protected. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be looking at, so like I mentioned, we started from the outlet, we have that extension cable, and we have that UPS providing that support and added protection and a backup battery just in case anything does happen. The next thing is going to be the connections. So I went with the Furman SS6B Pro. A little bit about the Furman is, I understand, I know some of you are freaking out as soon as you saw me pull this out. Yes, I understand it isn't conditioned. I get it, but it has the protection I need. And the reason I went with this is I didn't want to just go with any power strip, you guys. There's plenty of videos online. Maybe we'll do one in the future where we break down a couple different power strips and you get to check the quality. I mean, some of these that you just pick up at hardware that are like $3, $5, maybe $7, even the $20 range, you got to be careful with some of these. I mean, they're basically plastic and aluminum foil put together. When it comes to safety, that is a huge priority for me. So you want to make sure you're being careful, protecting your asset, you're protecting your investment, and you're protecting yourself and your property and the loved ones around you. So make a good decision on exactly what it is you are going to choose to power any heavy duty electronics. So this one is perfect for studio use, light studio use, DJs use it, musicians use it. Yes, I understand, like I mentioned, it isn't conditioned. However, it does have technology that helps you with any noise. As far as surge protection, it isn't class leading in any way, but it does have the minimal standard protection. And what I mean by that is a lot of companies make big claims when they do say they have all this amount of protection or whatever it may be, and they really aren't even close to what the minimum is. You can look more into their conditioned products, but if you are just starting out, you have a solid setup and you just want to go with a good quality, solid, reliable setup, this one's perfect for you. They are separate, so I didn't need that extra space for any power bricks or anything. Good shut off, UL certified, EVS protection, EMI, RFI, and surge protection. And that's usually the baseline of what you may need for protection if you aren't doing anything too crazy. And you guys, I am not an electrician or a sound expert by any means, but I do a little research, and you can get some information online if you dig down deep enough. And the idea behind the Furman as a power strip is I'm going to be using two different ones. So one of them is going to be dedicated to my lighting, and the other one is going to be dedicated to audio and anything I need that is a little more sensitive. And they're both going to be connected into the UPS. This will be taking everything, filtering it, doing what it needs to do, and feeding it back into the Furmans, which also have surge protection. The next thing we're going to be looking at, which is super cool, if you guys are looking for an option that is actually going to help you clean up everything under your desk. So my plan is going to be an under the desk setup. I want the cables out of the way. I want everything easy to clip off and on, because if I am going to be moving my tripod, which is holding my camera and all my equipment, I wanted something to be easy to detach. So everything's going to be under the desk and tied up. So this was where Vivo came in. They actually make a option for, it looks like they also cover PS5s, they cover computer towers. This UPS is actually a bit of a tower itself, so this is actually going to be able to support it, and it does have what you need there to be able to mount it onto the desk. So we're going to be actually taking a look at some of this stuff, and we'll see what we think. So you guys, that was a quick look at the system I'm going to be going with, and now we'll be doing the unboxing and checking out some of the equipment, and we'll see what you guys think. Stay tuned.